then all of us are very tech savvy. Adapting teachers, let me first touch upon the tech savvy teachers who are extremely ahead of the curve. Latest technology, they are on it. Windows 10, they're on it. Azure, they're on it. How many of us are here like that? Okay, four people. And the rest of us are adapting teachers. So 80% of the teachers, like in this room, were teachers who wanted to try technology in the classroom, but due to some technology issues or due to some problem in the classroom, they said, okay, let me just go back to my board, let me just go back to my pen and paper, and I'm fine with it. But the experiment keeps on happening. So there's a back and forth that keeps on happening. So let's go through what happens in the day of a life of such a teacher. Let's say you want to flip the classroom, you shared these pre-reads beforehand. What happens is only a minor fraction of the class comes prepared. I can completely resonate with this. In MBA, our teachers used to give all these case studies, and none of us, or only 10 to 20% of the people used to study. And the discussion was, hey, did you read that case study? Just tell me those 3-4 points, and I'll tell that to the teacher. That's what used to happen, and I'm sure it still continues to happen. So flipping fails in that case. Second attempt is, while the teacher is doing the discussion in the classroom, she's doing a lot of back and forth. So like how I'm doing right now, I'm facing you, and then I'm writing on the board, and then explaining the concept. So I'm going back and forth between this. So what happens is, the moment the teacher turns her back, there's a distracted classroom. Students start playing on their mobile phones, they start playing on their laptops, so they're not focusing completely. And the funny part is, the moment you say this is what is going to come in the exam, they take out their phone, they take out their laptops, and they click a photo of this. This happens, right? I used to do this, so I'm sure it's still again happening. Now, with all of this, what happens is, you've put in so many hours of work, you've done pure pre-reads, you've taken 2 hours of your time in trying to explain this concept to the student, and they're taking away only 5 minutes of that as their takeaway of the classroom. So, the intentions are right. You want to flip the class. You want to ensure that whatever knowledge you have, you pass that on to your students, but the execution fails because of technology. So let's see how technology can actually solve these problems. So when Ashish was talking about Office Mix and OneNote, that's one of the tools actually teachers use to flip classrooms. How that happens is, on the left, you'll see that there is a research paper. On the right, this person is using the inking technology available in Windows 10 devices to write down the important points. And simultaneously, they're converting it to text. So what happens is, instead of sharing all those 15 pages of pre-reads, you can now share it along with your notes to the students, and they'll be able to grasp the concept much better, and they'll be more prepared for the classroom. And like Professor Amit had said in the beginning, the attention span of students is reducing. It's now maybe 5 minutes. So how do you grab that attention within those 5 minutes? Technology can help you with that. Now, here's a very fun assessment. So what is the percentage of students engaged in a classroom, in a lecture, in a 1 hour? How will the curve look like? Will it be downward? Will it be upward? Downward. Okay. Downward, everyone agrees? So this was actually a study done by IIT Bombay. What they did was, if you flip the classroom in the right way, using the right technology, that is how the attention span of the student will look like. So it will dip down because students are students, but it will go back up because you're using the right technology and the right flipping method. So something very interesting here. When I was in college, I used to refer to a lot of books and try to understand economics, try to understand ISLM curves. For students who are not very sharp, they sometimes refer to videos. So people used to refer to Khan Academy videos. Why do students do that? Because they are able to understand audio and video in a much better format than probably something very written. So what happens is, with Office Mix, you can now record your own videos. Simultaneously, you can jot down all the points, and you can share it with the students. So again, inking becomes very interesting here. So this is one of the examples of how you can write your equations and then simply convert them to text. So Ashish would now take over about how all of this comes together, Windows, Office, and Intune.
It's not really taking over, it's wrapping up, because I think that's a scary statement at this time of the day. Look, essentially, putting it all in perspective, you heard us talking about a lot of things. This was a flip the classroom. We looked at the problems that you are facing as a teacher, as that adaptive professor who wants to make sure that the learning goes, but is being restricted. There's an attention span, and there are students clicking the photographs and all. How our technology, as what we say with regards to M365, the productivity solutions, be it the Office mix, be it the inking solutions, how they come to assistance and help you solve that. I'll just link it back to the broader picture. We talked about M365, which was around Office 365, productivity, collaboration. It was around Windows, the need to be there on the latest Windows, the safest, the securest sort of a medium for you, and how all of them come together to help you assist in your day-to-day activities out there in a classroom, to help you achieve your goals, the goals that you saw in that first slide again, so how it's all connected up. One important thing to here consider as well, while we have all these technologies and tools, you probably would not have noticed in the last couple of slides, there were those amazing apps as well that Simran was demonstrating in terms of helping you take quick notes, or that image where there was this machine in a 3D view and you were able to scribble notes. So our Windows Store we are projecting it as more an education store. If you have the Windows 10, you have the plethora of apps specifically tailored to help you get out the maximum of the education experience. All these is together available as part of what we say M365. Locally, that is available as an EduCloud solution we have. For the higher ed or for the K-12, it's eerie similar. We have something called the MASP. So this is how it all comes together. I think we want to add one comment, Sajid, before we just wrap up, and would like to invite you there for dinner.
No more presentations, just a 60-second note. So I think Simran talked about the importance of Windows 10 Pro. One message we want to leave is, many of you are on Windows 7 platform right now. We know there is a deadline. Every product has an expiry date, right? Similarly, Microsoft is calling Windows 7 EOL, what we call as the end of life, by Jan 2020, which means 18 months from now, Windows 7 will go end of life, which means it doesn't mean that it will not continue to work, but whatever updates and support you're getting from Microsoft on Windows 7 will come to an end by Jan 2020. So this year, this financial year, our focus will be to migrate maximum customers from 7 to 10. So any of your organizations or institutions who want to, whether it's educational or from an enterprise side, want to migrate to Pro, please get in touch with us. We have some things. So let me take the pleasure to thank you all for coming here. Thank you to all our speakers, our delegates, each and every one of you for spending quality time here. I hope it was extremely useful for you. We again say that Microsoft, on behalf of Team Microsoft and PC Quest, thank you all. And please join us for dinner. Thanks again.
I request all of you to please fill up the feedback.